So, hey guys, you're always going to get told you're doing the wrong thing. Yeah, I don't care what you do in life. Forget property here. This is generally in life. There will be somebody, and it may well be your parents, it may well be your partner, it may well be, who knows, your kids, everyone, and not everyone, but basically there'll be a lot of people that will tell you can't do it, you shouldn't do that, it's too risky. Yeah, these are the blockers in the way. And you know what? Forget naming them. It doesn't matter who they are. They will be there guaranteed 100% every single time. And what they will be doing, and the way I look at this is simply, I just look at it, that is life telling me that I need to push through that barrier, okay? Because that's all it is. And if I see it as that, if I see it as a barrier that just needs to be overcome, it's simple, it's a challenge, It's a challenge, not a problem. And I think that the key here with all this is whatever you do, whether I want to buy a property, great. Then you look in the newspaper and guess what? Property's going down, or there's a recession coming, or there's Brexit going to have a negative effect, or the pound's dropping, or the new dollar's, going up, or Trump's getting re-elected, or there's always what I call the white noise in the background. And the problem is a lot of us don't leave it in the background. What we do is we bring it into the foreground and it becomes part of our TV show, our Truman Show that we're creating, And I think the challenge we've really got is we've got to filter that out. We've got to filter out that white noise, focus on the goal at hand, and that means you've got to have a goal, because that's what most people don't even have a goal. They haven't even got to that stage of, in property where you go, that should be step one, I mean, if you sit down with one of our portfolio managers, that is step one. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? Screw where you're coming from. Forget about how you're going to get there. What do you want? Yeah? And when you start to look at that, then all of these distractions, all of these obstacles, these barriers, these people telling you you can't do that, that's not a good idea, try something else, try something more safe and secure, it's too risky. All the thousands and thousands of permutations of these barriers and blockages and challenges that life is setting you are there. You just have to go stick it up your bum and get it out. Just keep doing it. You've got to just push through these things. Now, obviously there is some advice, and this is where you got to pick your advice. Very good, because very precisely, because some people know what they're doing, and so some people are telling you something and you won't be listening. I mean, I see this all the time with people where they'll sit down with me, they'll ask my advice, and then they'll go and do what they said they were going to do anyway. And you're sort of like, well, why did you ask my advice? They weren't interested in hearing my advice. Yeah. And so you've got to be careful that you are not waiting to speak, or you're not, I know is one of the most prevalent diseases out there. And I call it a disease because the problem is it precludes any form of learning after that. Once somebody says something to you, you go, I know, that's it. You're not learning anymore. Yeah, it's the worst thing you can possibly do. Because, and I've had this, it's a classic case, and our friends joke about it. I've done over $1 billion in property. I've been in property 25 years. And one of our mates, one property, had a few issues with the property, and I was basically giving some advice on how to fix it. And the response back was, no, you're wrong. And he went on to proceed to tell me why I was wrong. And it's kind of like, you've never worked in property, you're not an agent, this is your first property that your parents paid for, that you didn't even have to save for, and now you're telling me how to do property? And it was almost laughable, because, people know I've been in property for a long time, I'm on YouTube all the time, I'm on Facebook and everything, but unfortunately, that is how a lot of people are. They stop that learning, so you can't. So there's an element of don't listen to anyone that stops you. There's another element of choose who you listen to very carefully, because people who know what they're talking about are generally they're happy to give you advice, and they're happy to give you the correct advice. Okay, so you got to take that, and that's the challenge. Is you've got a juxtaposition of all the negative people and all the positive people that may be giving you what you're perceiving as negative advice right now, or putting a block in place. It may not be a block, it may actually be a warning sign of you're about to fall off the cliff. All right, guys, that's subscribe. Any questions, any discussions you want to have, happy to answer. Talk to you later. Bye.